Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews. Today we'll be taking a look at LEGO Brickheadz set number 41616, Hermione Granger, based off of the Harry Potter franchise. This single-packed figure comes with 127 pieces and retails for around $10 in the United States. It released on July 1st as a Target exclusive, and will be available at all stores starting August 1st, 2018. And to start with, this is a pretty nice looking figure. I guess we'll start with the head and hair. As you can see on the front, I feel as though LEGO did a pretty good job getting Hermione's bangs. They come down quite far, nearly reaching down to her eyes. And I do like how there isn't too much detail here, just a little, a few areas where, I don't exactly know what you call it, where, the hair sort of curves up, where, you know what I mean, how the corner tiles have bits of hair, places where the hair isn't there. That's a nice touch, and it does make this look pretty good. From the side, I'm not a big fan of how her face part, like this bit here, looks from the side. I feel as though maybe they could have had some hair going onto there, or maybe just some of these little 1x2 plates with the ridge just going onto the front. I feel as though that could have maybe made the figure look a bit better from the side, but anyway, you can see that on the side you do have a lot of nice detailing, a lot of corner tiles to make the hair seem very messy, and what I think is a very nice touch is that you can see that some of the hair is offset. Like, for example, this is offset by one jumper, but what I think is really nice is that this piece, which isn't offset, but it actually covers up part of the arm as I accidentally break Hermione off of her stand. I think that's a nice touch, and again, it does make her hair seem very messy, long, yeah, very accurate, in my opinion. On the back, you just have some more, it's smooth towards the top, and again, just more messy and tangled towards the bottom. Pretty accurate to Emma Watson's hairstyle in the first two Harry Potter films. On the other side, you have pretty much the same idea, just some more tangles, some more curves. And again, you do have a bit of the hair covering up the arm, so that's nice. But, anyway, you can see that she is in her sort of, not the robes, I guess in a more casual version of the uniform, I don't know. She has on just the sweater and skirt of the Hogwarts uniform, which is an interesting choice by LEGO. You can see that the jumper is in a light bluish gray color, and there is a printed 1x2 brick for the collar, and that looks pretty good. I like that print. If I really wanted to nitpick, I could say that I wished it had been on a 1x4. The reason it's a 1x2 is because the Ron Weasley Brickhead uses this, and it has robes on, so it had to be a 1x2 because on each side is a black brick, so yeah, I feel as though this would have looked slightly better if they just printed the same design onto a 1x4 here, so there weren't the couple of gaps between the bricks. The gaps are really small. I don't really mind, to be honest. You can see that then Hermione's skirt is in the dark gray color, and that is just another nice print, this time on a 1x4, with just some black lines to sort of get the ridges in the skirt, or the pleats, I guess would be a bit more accurate to call it. And you'd have another one of those prints on the back, which is nice. Something I do feel as though is missing that maybe they could have implemented is how, how the sweaters have sort of the red and gold stripe at the bottom. I feel as though maybe they could have implemented that, like, maybe not red and gold, maybe just one or the other, but I think it would have been a nice detail for them to try to include. Like, maybe it could have just been, maybe it could have just been, like, a golden stripe, except maybe just with some red printing on the front and back. I don't know, just a thought. I mean, the figure still looks perfectly fine without it. It's just a thought of something that maybe could have been included. You can see that then under the skirt, Hermione does have little gray socks and black shoes, which is nice, and you can also see a little bit of her legs being exposed, which makes sense. And yeah, of course, being one of the later 2018 Brickheadz, Hermione's stand has no printing on it, and it does just have the sort of Brickheadz head set up with the 2x4, the 1x4 with 2 studs, and a 1x4 tile. So it resembles a Brickheadz head. One last thing for Hermione here is the accessories. You can see that for the wand, to make them scale better, because of course now, this year LEGO's introduced the new wand piece for the Harry Potter minifigures, but because Brickheadz are much larger than minifigures, LEGO decided here that instead of giving them Hermione here the normal wand piece for this year, they just give her a dark brown 4-long lightsaber blade piece, which is interesting since the lightsaber blade piece, although normally in a regular reddish brown, was actually the old wand piece that LEGO used back from 2001 until 2011. So that's kind of an interesting thing, and I think this looks pretty good. I mean, I feel as though it is a bit lacking on detail. Like, here's the thing, it would have looked more detailed, and I think it would have maybe, it would have looked a bit better if maybe LEGO had instead gone with a dark brown lightsaber hilt and then a 3-long bar as well. So you have a bit of a design for the handle, but then at the same time, then it would be too big, so this was probably the right way to go. Just a thought. And then on the other side, she also comes with this nice brown book, which is the new Nexo Knights style book. And what's nice about this is that there is no printing on the cover, but if we open up the book, and if we can get this to focus, you can see that there is a nice printed 1x2 tile in there showing how to perform Wingardium Leviosa. That is a print. It's not exclusive, it also appears in the Whomping Willow set, and it's also going to appear in sort of a Harry's Trolley polybag set that's probably going to be coming out in August. So yeah, that is Hermione, but before we wrap up the review, there is one other thing I want to do, and I did the same thing with the other 2 Brickheadz reviews I've done thus far, and that being, let's compare the Brickheadz Hermione to the minifigure Hermione, this being the most recent Hermione minifigure that comes in with the 75953 Whomping Willow, 75954 Hogwarts Great Hall, and 75956 Quidditch Match. And I feel as though, to start with, I feel as though the hair is very well done on both. I feel as though the Brickheadz figure did a very good job at translating the hair, which is good, because in terms of physical likeness, the hair is really all a Brickheadz figure has to make the figure look like an actor or actress, so they did a good job there. Something interesting, though, is the coloring. As you can see, the minifigure uses a dark gray sweater and black legs, while the Brickheadz figure uses a light gray sweater and dark gray skirt. Personally, dark gray is a much more accurate color for the sweater, and I'm not sure why LEGO decided to go with the light gray here. It's just sort of a weird choice in my opinion, but I mean, it works all right. I just feel as though it could be a bit better if it was in dark gray. I don't know. But something that is definitely a thing the Brickhead has going for it over the figure is that the minifigure of Hermione doesn't have her skirt. And I get why she doesn't have it. I mean, she has short legs, so the only way they could really do a skirt at this scale is by double molding, because, well, I mean, like, technically LEGO could do a really small fabric piece. Again, it would be really small, really hard to fold, probably wouldn't look too good, and a lot of kids would probably lose it, so I think it's fine that the minifigure doesn't have one, although the Brickhead having one is a pretty nice thing. One last thing to mention, the Brickheadz figure has a dark brown wand, while the minifigure has a dark tan wand. Personally, the dark tan wand is more accurate in my opinion, but I don't really mind the Brickhead having the dark brown one. I feel as though both work perfectly fine, to be honest. Yeah. So, really, that's all I have to say for the comparison between the two. Overall, both are very accurate portrayals of Hermione, and they both fit together pretty well despite the strangely contrasting colors for the torso and legs. But, yeah, so that is the Hermione Brickheadz figure. So, before we move on to the final verdict, let's quickly take a look at the set's packaging. Hermione comes in the standard $10 single-pack Brickheadz box size. You can see at the top you have the LEGO Brickheadz logo, and in the bottom you have Hermione's name, as well as that this is Brickheadz number 51. On the bottom left you have the Harry Potter logo, and then you have all your information for the figure on the left in sort of that column. Pretty nice design for the front. I like sort of the magical glow around Hermione. On the top, you have the 1x2 printed brick with her collar, sporting the actual size reference. And then, on this side, you can just see sort of a picture of Hermione from the movie, which I think is a pretty good picture, although I do feel as though it's a bit odd that they chose a picture where she's wearing her robes, because, of course, the Brickheadz figure doesn't have robes. So kind of an odd choice, but they did wear robes pretty much all the time in the movie, so it makes sense. Honestly, I kind of wish that the Brickheadz figure was wearing robes, and, I mean, I do get why it's not. They wanted the figure to be easily distinguishable from Harry and Ron, who have robes. But, I don't know. I feel as though the robes just look more iconic. Maybe she could have had open robes, so that you could have still seen the skirt. I don't know. Just an idea. But, yeah, nice picture, and again, the hair is very accurate on the Brickhead, which is really the most important thing for me, because really, if I really wanted to take Hermione and put her in robes, I could just take the robe builds from Harry or Ron, and then just put Hermione on. Problem solved. But I'm probably not going to do that, since the figure does look very nice. Anyway, here on the back, you can see just Hermione from another angle, and you can also see that you can also collect Hedwig and Harry Potter in set number 41615, which I hope to acquire soon as my local-ish LEGO store gets them in stock. This side just has some legal info, and yeah, that's the box overall. So, for $10, would I recommend the LEGO Hermione Granger Brickheadz figure? I don't know. I mean, to me, it really depends on whether or not you're planning on collecting any of the other ones, because, obviously, if you're going to be getting one Brickheadz set, you want the one with Harry Potter and Hedwig, because, obviously, Harry's the main character. I mean, I don't really see much point in getting Hermione if you don't have Harry. And I mean, before you say something about how, hey, wait, I'm a hypocrite because I have Hermione without Harry, that's only because none of the Targets in my area got Harry, and my LEGO store was sold out of every set except Aragog by the time I called, so there was no point in me going there. And they won't be getting a new shipment of Harry until Friday at the earliest. So, yeah. But yeah, I guess that is my recommendation for this set. This is a great figure, and it looks very nice. but it is just sort of awkward to have Hermione as a standalone, so I would recommend getting Harry and Hedwig, and then Hermione. However, something tells me that if you have Harry and Hedwig, then Hermione would look very nice next to them. Same thing with Ron and Dumbledore. And, yeah, but I mean, in terms of the figure itself, it's very well done. You have a lot of very cool techniques for the hair, and you also have some nice pieces... Sorry. You also have some nice pieces inside of the Brickheadz figure that you can't see right now, such as some teal 1x2 plates, a teal 2x2 round plate, some 2x2 bricks in sand green. I mean, there are some nice pieces in here. And then you do have that nice skirt print, which is an exclusive piece, and then you also have the collar print and the Wingardium Leviosa print, which are not exclusive, but still nice to get. Yeah. Then you also get the dark brown forlong bar, which is not very common. In fact, I'm not sure, but I think that piece in that color only comes here and in the Harry Brickhead set. I might be wrong, though. It might also come with the Ron set, but I'm pretty sure it's just Hermione and Harry. Please feel free to correct me in the comments if Harry has just normal brown or if Ron has dark brown or something. But anyway, that's a pretty uncommon color, so it's nice to get. So yeah, I don't really give things ratings, but this is pretty nice. A perfect companion piece to your LEGO Harry Potter Brickheadz display. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next one. Farewell.